Beam City Sports, back at you with another show on 96.5 FM. This is your host, Tyler Texeira, here with Luke Mitchell once again. How you feeling, Luke?
I'm feeling good. How we doing, Sacramento? It's feeling nice out. I'm feeling nice. Looking forward to this show. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Pretty excited for it.
Yeah, we have a big show today. We're going to go over the NBA standings predictions for our predictions for next year.
Yep.
Then we'll talk about the NFL Week 3 news. Also, we'll get into some MLB playoff stuff, and then we'll get into the A's last few games in Oakland, which you will actually be attending tonight. Let's take a second on that real quick.
Very excited about it. It's kind of hitting me like last night and right now. It's really kind of hitting me that the A's are leaving Oakland, and like us being huge Oakland fans since we could ever since we knew each other, you kind of got me into rooting for Oakland. Actually,
yeah.
It's pretty surreal to I'm going to be going to this piece of history that's going to be torn down shortly after. Like, it's going to be pretty sad, but I can already feel the emotions kind of boiling up a little bit.
Yeah, same here. We've been through a lot at Oracle.
Yeah.
Or right next to Oracle,
Some pretty amazing memories and then some pretty heartbreaking memories.
Yeah, definitely true. Sad I can't attend one of those games, the last few games in Oakland.
Yeah.
But we'll get into our show today. We're going to be predicting the standings. We're going to start out west today.
Yeah.
So at number 15, I'll jump right into it. I'm predicting that the Utah Jazz will be the 15th worst team in the Western Conference. What do you have?
I have the Trailblazers at 15.
Okay.
Didn't see much development from much of the teams. I mean, besides Lauri Markkanen getting signed to the Jazz. But what do you have the Jazz down there for?
Yeah, I think the Jazz are just too young at this point. I think Lauri is definitely a star, and I really want to see him on a different team. I think he can make a big impact. I think if he goes down with an injury, or if they decide to rest him some games because they're going to be tanking, that those young guys are just going to get a chance to go through the rough times in the NBA and kind of do that. Go for that number one
pick. Get some
pick.
real development and know what it's like to be in the bottom of the ranks.
Yeah. So I have Portland at 14 though, so you can't be mad at either one.
Yeah, I got Jazz at 14 as well.
Those are definitely the two worst teams in the Western Conference going into next year.
Big time.
Yeah. So Portland, they got Anthony Simons, who I'm a really big fan of, and they also have Donovan Clingan, the rookie they just drafted. We'll see what they do with him. They still have DeAndre Ayton, which they're kind of looking to move. So it could be interesting to see where they go.
Yeah. But both teams that are kind of just down in the dumps right now.
Yeah, definitely. Those two teams will be the worst out west. But then it gets really tough.
Yep. It took a long time for me to make this list last night.
Same.
It was took 2 hours for me to kind of move everything around, and then I kept switching stuff.
Yeah, same here. All the way down to 13, the Western Conference is just completely stacked this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really tough for all these teams to, play against each other every other night.
Yeah.
But at 13, I have the LA Clippers as my 13. I think we already see some injury stuff with Kawhi yesterday coming out, and that's obviously not a good sign. He's hurt every year. He was supposed to be on the Team USA team as well, but then they sent him home for Derek White.
Yeah, it's I'm surprised you have them that low. They are just a little bit higher for me, but I don't know. Having James Harden on the team, I'm not the biggest James Harden fan, but still that's one player you could always rely on.
He's definitely a great regular season player, even at this age. He still puts up great numbers.
Yeah. And then also they have Kevin Porter Jr. too. They picked him up, so that's a big pickup for him.
He could be very solid for them. Actually, yeah.
I kind of have him a little bit higher, but all right. I do see I dropped them a lot. They were number 3 last year. 4.
Yeah, they were number 4 last year.
Yeah. So this is going to be the biggest drop for a playoff team.
Oh yeah,
from last year.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Who was your 13?
This it was tough for me to put them down this low because I love how young this team is, but that's also why I put them this low. I got the Houston Rockets at 13.
Yeah, can't be mad at that.
Yeah,
only had them a few spots higher for me. But I do love their team. I really believe in this development.
Yeah, you kind of got me into them, and I was looking into. I like their team, how they're developing everything, and how we talked about them a little bit ago. And it's are they going to stick with this core and kind of grow them, or are they going to try and get another star or get a different star?
Jimmy Butler from the Miami Heat, he's one of the guys that's rumored to go there next year in free agency. The Rockets could still have some money. Jimmy Butler's, threatening to leave Miami.
Great vet.
It really would. It would be a really big upgrade from a Dylan Brooks or something like that.
Exactly.
Because Dylan Brooks provides that toughness and stuff, but Jimmy Butler is just a star player still in this league. And that could definitely put them as a solidified playoff team in the West.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. No, yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, it was so tough for me to put him that low.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Also love Sengun, obviously,
Sengun,
from our
yeah.
center rankings. You can see I had him really high on there. I think Sengun is going to be a star. He could be an all-star in the next few years.
I see him possibly being an all-star next year.
Yeah, could be. There's just the West is so
It's
stacked.
so
It's hard.
stacked.
So,
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. So number 12 for me, another young team. Not the Houston Rockets. I had the San Antonio Spurs as my number 12.
Me
you know,
too.
Wemby. I believe in his development, of course. He's going to be the best player in the league and give it 5 years, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And then picking up Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes. Those are very good vets for that team. You know, Greg Popovich is over there. Still probably the best coach in the NBA right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him or Eric Spoelstra.
Hats off to him for sticking through every single rotation of the Spurs, all the way back from the Twin Towers to now. It's pretty awesome to see him stay throughout that whole time.
So yeah, the Spurs I had as number 12. They have other guys like Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, who I believe in those guys, but
and then I keep forgetting his name, the rookie they just drafted.
Oh yeah, Stephon Castle.
Yeah, Stephon Castle.
He's a stud. He's probably the best, if not second best, out of this rookie class.
For sure.
I think next year he'll probably be the starting point guard for them once Chris Paul, gets older and older.
Yeah.
He'll be a big piece for that team.
For sure. I also had the Spurs at 12 for all the same reasons. It's a good team that's, in the next few years could possibly be at the top of the West.
Definitely scared of the Spurs out west for sure. So number 11 for me was the Houston Rockets. I had the Houston Rockets as my number 11. So we just talked about them.
Yeah.
Young team. Jalen Green, another guy on that team that I really believe in. And Reed Shepherd, of course.
Yeah.
Him and Stephon Castle are definitely the two best coming out of this rookie class. Look for those guys to make an impact.
Yeah. So we flip flopped our Clippers and Rockets picks. I got the Clippers at 11. It's just one of those teams that, having them at 4 last year, it's kind of tough to completely put them down at the bottom 3 of the Western. So I still think they might make the play-in tournament. Who knows? But I think they're going to be sitting at this 11, maybe 10 spot.
Yeah. I think the Clippers, if Kawhi's really hurt or, Harden gets an injury or something like that, this team is not deep at all. They don't have a good bench.
Have enough.
So I think they're definitely going to fall off, and they always have injury history.
Yeah.
So,
Sucks because they got that whole new $1 billion arena.
Yeah.
And not a team to put in it, really.
They don't have a lot of picks also coming up in the future.
They traded everything away.
Yeah, they don't really have much going up. They are still a destination that players are going to want to go to, though.
LA is always going to be something.
So could see the Clippers get a star in free agency,
For sure.
Yeah.
They won Kawhi and Paul George and James Harden in the matter of a few, and Russell.
They can get stars.
Having all those people on that team and then not going anywhere with it, it's kind of surprising. It's pretty nuts.
It's always the injuries, man. It really is. This is where it gets really interesting, though. Number 10, this is where the play-in tournament starts.
Yep.
So these all 10 could flip-flop for me. It was so tough for me to make this list.
Yeah.
Number 10, I had the Phoenix Suns. It's my number 10 pick.
All right.
I just don't believe in them. I think, I love KD. I love Devin Booker, of course. Bradley Beal does not fit with this team at all.
No.
I think he needs to buy into coming off the bench, and I don't think he's going to do that. I think the defense of this team is just not good at all. They do not have a point of attack defender. They don't have a good rim protector. They have Yusuf Nurkic down there who's solid, but he's not protecting the rim like you want him to, especially on a bad defensive team.
You're convincing me to move the Suns even lower on my list right now.
So, but Devin Booker is still the second best shooting guard or the third best shooting guard in the NBA.
And then you can never eliminate KD.
KD is still going to put up close to 30, 25 points a night. So it was hard for them to be 10 for me, but I had to do it because of the defense.
Yeah, that makes sense. But, hopefully there's a lot of teams in the West that are really relying on just offense right now.
Yeah.
So, look at the Grizzlies. That's going to be one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Their defense is pretty good, but, it's going to be, mostly offense. And then the Mavericks, number 1.
Mavericks definitely are all offense, for sure.
All offense. They're going to be relying on scoring 125, 130 points a game.
Yeah. The difference between them, though, is they have really good rim protectors. That's why I think their defense can hold up, because they don't have good perimeter defenders.
That's true.
But then they have Daniel Gafford.
Sorry, getting off contract. My bad.
But, so who's your number 10?
I got the Lakers at number 10.
Yeah.
I had to, I don't like them.
Yeah.
And then also I don't believe in them.
Yeah.
LeBron, obviously I'm not eliminating him. He's still going to average 25 points a game with 8 rebounds and 7 assists or something like that.
Yeah.
But the rest of the team, it doesn't really happen. JJ Redick just released a starting lineup, and it was D'Lo, Austin Reeves, LeBron, AD, and Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, that was their starting lineup from last year, and they didn't go anywhere last year.
I don't know how. I mean,
they didn't really pick up anyone in the offseason to get better. I had him at number 9, so I had him at number 10, but then I kept flip-flopping with them in the Suns just because I believe in LeBron and AD so much. I think that's still one of the best duos. I think LeBron is going to, he has his son on his team. I think he's going to come out and try and be like more of a leader than ever, and he's going to try and dominate like we saw on Team USA.
Yeah,
we saw him how good he was on Team USA.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's still gonna dominate. He's still gonna be amazing. Hopefully, he doesn't go down with anything that kind of ruins his career.
He's almost 40, and they're asking him to lead the team in pretty much every stat.
That's what I'm saying. So, like,
it's going to catch up to him at one point.
I'm not saying LeBron. It is going to catch up, like, right now, but at some point it will. Yeah. Like, there's going to be something, like, you can't keep going this long.
Yeah, one injury for LeBron and that Lakers team
it's going to be
probably out of the play-in tournament completely. Yeah. And you know how AD is. Last year, he had a healthy year, but that's the first healthy year.
You can't rely on him by himself on the court either. Like, if you don't have LeBron with him, he doesn't – I mean, he might get the numbers up there, but he doesn't hold the team together like LeBron does.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. So, they were my number 9. Who's your number 9?
I got the Golden State Warriors at number 9.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
That's a tough one to hear.
So, I mean, I do think they're a good team, but they're also one of those teams that didn't do much in the offseason to get better. They added slow-mo Kyle Anderson, so so that's a good pickup.
He's a very high IQ player.
Yeah, I mean, that'll help. But then also, like, they have a lot of developing players still that are really young and can't. I mean, they're really relying on Andrew Wiggins to come back and be an all-star again.
That's definitely true.
I mean, Kuminga's amazing. He's a great player. And then Looney also is a pretty locked-down guy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Curry is going to will his way to make this team get back into the play-in and possibly the playoffs.
Yeah.
But, I don't see them breaking the regular playoffs, though, next year.
Yeah. I still had him in the play-in tournament. I did have him a little higher.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the Warriors have great depth this year, and I think guys like Moses Moody could have a big impact off the bench. I think he might even, come into that starting small forward spot for Wiggins if he's struggling, because I think they're going to go small. I think they're going to start Curry, Brandon Pajemski, Wiggins, Kuminga, and then Draymond at the center. That's what I think their starting lineup's going to be. I mean, that's what they did last year, that's when they won games.
Yeah.
It gives Kuminga space to work because Draymond's on the perimeter, and Kuminga is pretty much a straight slasher. Like, he's trying to get to the rim and make stuff happen. And Kuminga, a lot of Warriors fans are predicting him to be the all-star this year. It's high hopes on him, but he can score the ball.
Yeah, no, I saw that in the playoffs against the Kings. That hurt a lot.
If he can take a jump on the defensive end, I think Kuminga could be a huge part. And then the starting 2-guard spot, Brandon Pajemski, he led the league in charges last year. They want him to take 8 to 10 3-pointers.
He's a dog, man.
Yeah, he's a dog. No, he's a dog. And Steve Kerr really loves his game, so he's going to start him at the 2. They also have Buddy Hield and DeAnthony Melton off the bench.
I did forget they added Buddy Hield.
Yeah,
splash buddy.
So see, I think the Warriors could be
still no respect for him.
Yeah, a dangerous team if they can hold up with Draymond at the center that much. I think Looney is. We've seen offseason workouts of Looney where he's looking like a guard actually. So if Looney can go back to that 2022 form of like
that'd be interesting.
All those offensive rebounds and just playing great defense, like I think he could maybe take over the starting spot again, but
that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah. So I had him higher, but not too much higher.
All right. So that was our number 9 that we were on.
Yeah. So my number 8 was a team I'm really praying on their downfall, and it's really hard for me to have them this low. This is why the West is just so tough to rank. But I had the Pelicans at number 8.
Whoa.
Yeah, I had the Pelicans at number 8.
Wow.
I
that
really
is way lower than I thought.
I love their offseason, but I'm praying on their downfall.
This isn't even like based on their team like ranking. This is based on like you want them to be this low ranking.
I really want them to be this low, and it's hard for me to put them like I have the Warriors above the Pelicans.
I would love them this low.
Yeah,
like
I know you would.
That would be awesome.
As Kings fans, we're very scared of the
Pelicans. But I doubt that's going to happen. I see them being way higher than this.
Yeah, and they've actually come out and said that Zion is going to be playing mostly center this year. So they're going to have a starting lineup of
that's going to be a
CJ
small lineup too.
DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, and Zion. Not a lot of rebounding. Zion's only 6'6", but he's a huge guy, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, he can't jump a lot anymore.
I mean, he's super athletic. He can definitely jump.
Can he still jump well?
Yeah, he's looking
I just
healthier
remember he
than
couldn't
ever.
really, like, he kind of just screwed up. Like, he used to jump like insane, like getting that big like lineman body pretty much.
Yeah.
And Duke, that was nuts.
Yeah, it was.
But, I mean, after he, like, pretty much forgot how to walk, like, I thought he kind of forgot how to jump, too.
There's some reports he's lost a lot of weight this offseason, and they want to play him at the center and run that small ball lineup.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
And we know the perimeter defense for the Pelicans is going to be good.
It is a new game of basketball.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, we'll have to just check it.
Yeah. But I had him number 8, obviously lower than you had him. Who was your number 8?
I got the Suns at number 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Suns, I mean, like everything you said, I was kind of agreeing and wanted to drop them down even further, but I'm not going to change my list now.
They still have KD, though.
They still have KD, and I love KD.
Yeah.
Like, he's one of my favorite.
And he's going to stay healthy. He's actually been very good at his career. Only a few years he's gotten hurt. But he's going to play games. He loves to play basketball. He's not one of those guys that wants to sit out.
Yeah.
Devin Booker's also like that. I think both those guys are top-tier scorers.
That's, I mean, probably one of the best duos in the NBA.
It is, yeah. And I have him at 10. You have him at 8.
Yeah.
So the West is crazy.
West is stacked.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. 7. Wait, who was your 8?
The Suns.
Okay, yeah. 7 for me was the Warriors.
Okay.
We just talked a lot about them.
Yeah.
I believe in their offseason. I think losing Clay hurts emotionally. Could be better for them on the floor than it was last year. Clay really struggled all year. He still was top in the league, like top 10 in the league in three-pointers made.
Okay.
But it's because he's getting up.
Yeah, he's getting
10
up.
a game.
Yeah.
And most of them are bad shots, especially last year. And the defensive end, like we've mentioned before, is falling off for Clay.
Definitely.
I think we're going to see that a lot in Dallas, too.
Yeah.
So who's your 7?
I got our Sacramento Kings at number 7.
Whoa. That's outrageous right there. I'm not okay with that.
I mean, I don't think they'll get more wins than all of these other teams.
So
it's tough. It sucks.
I'm going to convince you on the Kings. I think the Kings are going to have the best year.
Hang on,
I think they're going to have more wins than they did 2 years ago.
So there's 3 teams up above us that are outright better for sure that I'm looking at, and then there's 2 other teams that kind of have the longevity that can kind of outlast us a little bit more.
Yeah, it really does come down to health for the West, because a few games is going to separate everyone.
It's just the West is so stacked. I feel bad for putting the Kings this low.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to be realistic at the same time right now. I didn't want the bias to come in on this list.
Yeah. You don't think the Kings can be better than the Pelicans?
I think they can.
They can, but...
But I think with how the Pelicans have been playing in this NBA, it's like I think they're going to be a number 4 seed.
Yeah, I had the Kings way higher. I think
I wanted to put them at 5.
Yeah.
That's where I wanted to put the Kings. I wanted the Kings at 5.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a long shot for us, I think.
I don't think so, dude. I think the Kings are going to be really good this year. I think Keon, there's been so many stats coming out that he is like a top 5 3-and-D player. We have him starting at the 2 and probably not going to get that many minutes.
I need them to convince me, man.
Yeah, because we have Malik off the bench. That's a 6-man of the year, pretty much favorite right there. Probably going to average like 18 a game off the bench.
Yeah.
And then we got the depth. We got Kevin Huerter coming off the bench now. He was our starting 2 the last 2 years.
Hopefully he can come back.
I think he's going to have a really good year. I think they're going to play him more at the small forward. He's 6'7", so he doesn't need to be playing the 2. He really struggled defensively, keeping up with the other 2 guards, so that could help him move into the 3. Okay. I think if he muscles up a little more than he used to, that could really help him on defense. But Trey Lyles off the bench, Trey Lyles is going to provide.
Yeah, that's a lot of. Now I just feel bad actually for putting that low.
I think
maybe I do switch them.
I think the Kings need to run the 8-man rotation.
Maybe I do switch them. Put them up at 5.
Yeah. Oh, 5. So who would you drop?
I would probably drop the Nuggets down 1 more.
Yeah, I have the Nuggets really low. I have the Kings above the Nuggets.
I would probably drop the Nuggets down 1 and maybe the Pelicans down 1.
Yeah. So I said the Pelicans are my 8, the Warriors are my 7, the Nuggets are my number 6. So I think the Nuggets are really going to fall
That's where I had the Nuggets now.
You had them at 6?
I have them at 6.
Okay.
Yeah. It's tough also with this because they're the 2023 champs. So it's like... And
they have the best player in the league.
They have the best player in the league.
But they lost a lot of depth.
Argument there, I think.
Yeah. There is definitely an argument. But, I mean, you had him number 2 on the centers list, Jokic.
Yeah.
So, you don't think he's the best player in the league. I think he's the best player in the league right now. But I still have him at 6. I think... they're really relying on Jamal Murray to have an all-star caliber year, and we haven't seen that yet in the regular season. We always see Jamal Murray step up in the playoffs, but in the regular season, he's never really had that crazy year.
Yeah.
So I think, and losing KCP, we've talked about it a lot.
That's a big loss.
Huge loss for them.
Yeah.
They're relying on Russell Westbrook and
Reggie Jackson,
Christian Brown to step up. Yeah, Reggie Jackson. I mean, he's
Yeah.
He's old, so
He's old, but
Yeah.
he's still effective off
He
the
was,
bench.
yeah, he was.
He had some big clutch moments for
he
him.
actually did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, 6 was
Yeah,
the
now I
Nuggets
feel
for me.
bad. Maybe I do need to move the Kings up top.
All right. So go through your 8 through 6.
All right. I got the Suns, the Kings, and the Nuggets there. I will switch
Okay.
the Nuggets up to 6. I can't really.
It's the West is so
Kings
tough.
Kings are going to stay at 6.
At 6 and the Nuggets 7, or
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, 6 for me was Nuggets. Number 5 gets interesting now. The Memphis Grizzlies. I think they're gonna have a huge year.
I got them there at number 5.
At
too.
5, okay,
Yeah.
we can both see that. Ja Morant. It's definitely gonna have a big year. I think that
He's
they
gonna
are very
be-
scary.
I think he can be in the top 5 running for MVP.
I could see that as
Yeah.
well. The only question marks for the Grizzlies are the center position and the small lineup they're going to be running out there. They're going to be starting Ja Morant, Marcus Smart, and Desmond Bane
Yeah.
at the 3. Desmond Bane is only 6'4",
He's not that tall.
and he has the short wingspan as well. So
Yeah,
on
it's-
defense, how are they going to guard some of the longer threes out there?
They'll just have to do a lot of switching.
Yeah,
Whole lot of switching.
and yeah, I think Marcus Smart is still a great defender, so that
Yeah,
definitely helps.
one of the
a lot.
best in the league, for sure.
So yeah,
When did he win Defensive Player of the Year?
I think 2021, 2022.
Okay,
So
yeah.
he's like the only guard in a long time to win Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, it's usually a big man.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, number 5, I had Memphis. Number 4,
You got the Kings?
I had the Sacramento Kings at 4.
Damn, that's a lot of...
This is the year. DeRozan
Yes.
is such a big pickup,
Yes.
and we gotta
It's
know
our
that.
defense it's still struggling a lot.
Keegan and Keon and De'Aaron are 3 above average, if not more than that, defenders in the NBA right now.
We do have some solid defenders, but then it comes down to DeMontis struggles down low a
DeMontis
lot.
does struggle down low, especially against the bigger guys and protecting
A
the
lot
rim.
of people target DeMontis,
They
especially,
do.
and then also he can't use his right hand. He only rolls left.
He's so good offensively, though. I don't think there's any questions on that. But the defense is a valid question for Del
Or did I get that wrong? He only uses his right, and he never
left hand.
Yeah, he
He's
only
lefty.
uses left. Yeah.
He's the second best passing big in the league behind Jokic.
Agreed.
That's for sure.
Agreed.
I think this offense is going to look better than ever, even with DeMar taking mid-range shots. I think, he's going to be a bucket getter.
We're one of the teams that is relying on our offense strictly.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of our biggest things. I think we're going to be back at what we were 2 years ago when we set records for the offensive record, 120 points per game.
I think we'll be back up there.
I think we'll be back up there.
Yeah.
But
who's your 4?
I have the Pelicans at 4.
That is very high.
It is high.
We talked about them a lot. They have a great team.
They have a great team.
have no
you were
center.
kind of convincing me with their size and everything with their running.
Yeah.
But then I also had to put in, I guess it's the standings, but I also had to consider the fact that they swept us last year.
Yeah.
And I think they're a better team than us. I do. But then,
if they stay healthy, they're definitely going to be one of the best
Yeah.
teams in the West. But I
it's
still don't believe in their health.
And then there's still plenty of time to make a trade.
Yeah,
Still
with
plenty of time
Ingram.
to make stuff happen.
Yeah.
I think they could actually get some piece or something going on over there.
Yeah, they got DeJounte Murray this offseason. That's a big pickup.
Yeah.
But I think the Kings also had a big pickup with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
He's an all-star caliber player still in this league. He averaged 24 a
For
game
sure.
last year. That's a huge addition to this team.
There's just a lot of questions on, can he keep that up?
Yeah.
Is the thing. In this fast-paced offense that we have, can he keep that whole thing up?
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I want it to.
Oh, I
Don't
know
get me
you
wrong.
do.
I
Yeah,
want it to
yeah,
work.
Yeah.
I would love for them to be
yeah.
at the 4 seed.
So we have the same top 3.
Yes.
It was pretty consensus for me who the top 3 was going to be. I wonder what the order you have is. I had the Mavericks as my number 3 in the West.
Okay. All right. I have the Thunder dropping down to 3.
Oh, okay. I would like that.
I do think that they're still going to be an amazing team with how young they are.
Yeah.
But I think more teams have, after playing a season against them, they did get better. They added Hartenstein and Caruso.
Huge pickups.
Huge pickups. But more people have figured them out, I think. And people know how to play them. And
We'll see if we can guard Shea this year. He
that
just draws more fouls than anyone in the league. And I don't get it.
him and De'Aaron go at it every time. Every time they go at it.
Yeah. So I had the Mavericks at 3. I still think Luka is going to have an MVP season.
Yeah.
I think he's probably my favorite to win MVP. But yeah, you can still win it at being the number 3 seed. Like we talked about earlier, the perimeter defense for them is just the real question mark for them.
Definitely.
I had the Thunder at 2.
I have the Mavs at 2.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
flip flop there. We have the same number 1 in the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
So we both think Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns are going to have huge years.
That whole team is going to come together. It's just they need to stay consistent all the way through the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's their main issue that they need to take care of.
Yeah, and they're relying on some young guys as well. Like we talked about a lot, Rob Dillingham off the bench for Mike Conley. I think they do have some depth though. I do like their.
And then
their
they traded for what's his name? They in the draft they traded who'd they pick up?
Well, Rob Dillingham.
Oh, sorry, you said that.
No. So he's going to be a really solid piece for that team. But Mike Conley, he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
If he shot 40% from 3 last year and played great defense.
Yeah.
So if he can keep that up,
didn't he just say, quote, he was just like, I mean, thanks. Like I can finally take a rest and come off the bench and do something like that.
Yeah. And he's a great vet. I think everyone would love to have him.
Any team would pick him up on a vet contract immediately if he was a free agent.
Yeah. So we have the same number 1, flip-flopped our 2 and 3, and then I got the Kings at 4. You had the Pelicans at 4.
The Pelicans.
So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go over our list really quick.
Let's go
over. I got 15, the Utah Jazz, 14, the Portland Trailblazers, 13, the Clippers, 12, Spurs, 11, I had the Rockets, 10, I had the Suns, 9, I had the Lakers, 8, I had the Pelicans, 7, I had the Warriors, 6, I had the Nuggets, 5, the Grizzlies, 4, the Kings, 3, the Mavericks, 2, the Thunder, and 1, the T-Wolves.
I got the Trailblazers at 15, Jazz at 14, Rockets at 13, Spurs at 12, Clippers at 11, Lakers at 10, Warriors at 9, Suns at 8, Nuggets at 7, 6 is the Kings, Grizzlies at 5, Pelicans at 4, Thunder at 3, Mavs at 2, and the Timberwolves at 1.
All right, that was our Western Conference predictions for next year. We'll come back with the East, the second half of the show, real quick, and we'll also get into some NFL really quick and some MLB baseball. So we'll be back. This is Beam City Sports, 96.5 FM. Tyler Texeira and Luke Mitchell coming to you from Sacramento, California.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things.
All of them. We are back on Beam City Sports, 96.5 FM. Tyler Texeira and Luke Mitchell. If you're listening on YouTube, please go hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening on the radio, thanks again. 96.5 FM every week, Wednesday, 1 to 2. So we are not going to go over our Eastern Conference standings the rest of the show. We're going to talk about some NFL, go over some MLB playoff stuff, and then talk about the A's last few games in Oakland.
We'll save the East Coast for next week.
Next week, we'll get into the Eastern Conference. Some big games out in the NFL last week. Week 3.
It's a weird NFL season.
It's going not how people predicted, that's for sure.
I mean, a lot of people getting hurt.
Yeah.
Weird season, a lot of weird games, a lot of people backup QBs going off and stuff.
Yeah. Couldn't predict it, and that's why people are, really into it right now. But a big game that happened that a lot of people listening to definitely care about are the 49ers and the Rams. 49ers were up pretty much the whole game. Then they lost 27-24.
Ouchie.
Yeah, so that one hurts for Niners fans.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I'm there with you. But, they blew it. It was not good. It also was pretty much a home away game for them. Because if you looked at the stands and everything, Niner jerseys everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
In L.A.
LA. I mean, there's not really a lot of Rams fans, I don't think, anywhere besides, maybe still in St. Louis. But, it was pretty funny. Personally, I'm not a Niners fan, but that sucks, man.
Yeah. Another big game out in the NFL was the Raiders playing against the Panthers. They lost after having a big win against the Ravens last week.
Yeah.
Ended up losing.
That was a big shocker, too.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton coming back. They bench Bryce Young, so everybody was surprised. Not surprised. He only threw 2 touchdowns and 16 interceptions for.
Yeah.
But he's not too hot. But no, Andy Dalton came back and handled the Raiders. Sorry for those Raiders fans. Yeah. But then if you're playing fantasy or anything, if Deontay Johnson is still on your waiver wire, pick that man up.
Yeah.
Because if Andy Dalton's playing, he's going to keep finding him for sure. Yeah,
that final score was 36-22. Panthers won that one. Then we had your Saints playing against the Eagles this week.
Yeah, that was some pain.
Yeah, how do you feel about that one? 15-12 final. Eagles won that one.
It was the most exciting, low-scoring game that I've seen.
Yeah.
It was something happening the whole time. The Saints never got anything going on offense a lot. It was a little tough, but no, their defense kept them in the game the whole time. That's what I feel like the Saints are going to have to rely on for the rest of the season is their defense coming up big with some interceptions and forced fumbles and stuff.
Yeah, the Saints, the first few games had a crazy offense. Like
Number
they were
one
scoring
the
most points in the NFL.
I think it's like 93 in the first 2 games they had.
Kamara going off. He still had a good week.
Yeah, not a bad week.
And Olave's been doing very good for them. Derek Carr's looked great.
Yeah,
not this week.
It was just that 1 week. I mean, obviously you can't do good every game, but it's a good start for the Saints.
You think the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl this year? Are you a true believer?
No.
No.
I think we will make the playoffs though.
Yeah.
I think we'll be in the playoffs. I mean, wild card or winning the division.
Yeah.
Obviously, the NFC South is pretty struggle, but it's. I mean, the Bucks are looking decent.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield's looking good on the Bucks. Atlanta's looking like they're trying to put something together. Like they were kind of struggling the first game, but definitely looking better. They played good against the Chiefs, which is another game we were talking about.
Yeah.
That there was like a little bit more controversy in that game too. So like last week there was the PI called on not Baltimore. Who the Chiefs play last week? But there was a PI called on that team, and the Chiefs got it, put them into field goal range, and then they won off of that. Oh, was it? No, it wasn't Cincy. But and then on Sunday or Monday when they were playing the Falcons, there was a missed PI call in the end zone where Kyle Pitts was going up for a catch, and then the cornerback or safety was like ran into Kyle Pitts without even like looking at the ball, and they didn't call it and gave the win to the Chiefs. Yeah,
the Chiefs are, they won that one 22-17 against the Falcons. That was they've been in close games pretty much every game this year.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks also played against the Dolphins without Tua. They blew them out 24-3. Yep. What do you think the Dolphins need to do? Because their backup QB also went out.
Yeah, now they're on their third string.
Yeah.
It's tough. Obviously, Tua's going to come back after a couple weeks. I don't know how long he has to stay out for this concussion. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like being his 5th or 6th, like I don't know if it's longer or if it's the same amount.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. They have a lot of good people on there. They have a lot of tools that they can use.
A lot of tools on offense, but they're not using them.
They're not using them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough for Miami fans. Obviously, it's a weird NFL start to the season with all these injuries.
Yeah, definitely. We also saw the Steelers, who are undefeated. They beat the Chargers.
Let's talk about the undefeated teams real quick.
Yeah, so the only undefeated teams still are the Bills, the Chiefs, Steelers, Vikings, and the Seahawks, all 3-0.
What do you think about the Vikings being 3-0 with Sam Darnold?
Yeah, they looked really good against the Niners. Justin Jefferson is one of my favorite guys in the NFL, so I think they have a really good offense.
Yeah, no, they're looking surprising. Like everybody's was kind of, or not surprising, I guess, because they do have a good team, and then their defense also comes up big.
Yeah,
but just after losing their rookie QB, who a lot of people were super questionable about. Like everybody's just like, is he going to be good? McCarthy, I think.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. Do you think they're going to be going 4-0 next week, or do you think they're going to?
I think the Vikings. I think they'll go 4-0.
4-0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll predict that. They play the Packers next week, so.
That's a big rivalry right there.
Yeah,
Cheeseheads versus. I don't know what the Vikings nickname is.
All right. Well, that was some NFL topics real quick, and now we'll jump into some MLB stuff. Some MLB Playoff Picture.
Winding down the year.
Yep, only about a week left in the MLB. We're really excited about playoffs coming up. The first place teams in the AL are the Yankees. They're first out east. Aaron Judge leading the league in homers.
Yep.
Just a stud out there. And they have Juan Soto also having a great year.
And then
they're scary.
Giancarlo's also doing good. Yeah. Not as good, but he's still hitting some bombs.
He's still a power hitter.
They're like, are they 2-3-4, I think?
Yeah, 2-3-4.
That's an insane lineup right there.
It really is.
Yeah.
And they have a good pitching staff as well.
Yep.
I really like the Yankees.
I don't.
I like their team. I like their players.
Yeah.
I hope they lose. Cleveland Guardians, our guy Stephen Vogt is the manager over there.
That's amazing to see.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
That's like my surprise team for this year, actually, was the Cleveland Guardians. They have a really good team, but they're just really underrated, not talked about a lot.
Yeah.
The young guy, Stephen Kwan, is one of the best leadoff hitters in baseball right now.
I feel like they're always quietly like up there,
they
like
are
near the top.
Yeah.
And I think they were in wild card last year.
Yeah.
I think, or they like just won their division, but they're always like one of those teams that's just like, who do they have on their team? Like, what's going on? I mean, obviously,
Jose Ramirez is pretty. He's been there for a long time.
Well, he's like 40-40 almost
and 40,
and nobody's talking about him going 40-40.
Yeah,
like,
it's all about Shohei.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to push the agenda, man.
Yeah, in the West, AL West, the Houston Astros are again the number 1 seed out there. Reigning champions, the Texas Rangers, are nowhere to be found.
I know. To go from reigning champions, I think they have like 70-something or 80-something wins.
74 wins.
Yeah, 74 wins.
Rangers have 74 wins.
Yeah, that's tough.
Astros dominating the AL West, but watch out for next year. Sacramento
A's are
coming for that. Coming for that
right
number 1
top.
spot.
Oh, yeah.
Some wild card teams who I really like. This number 1 team is the Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
They're my favorite team going into this playoffs that are in the playoffs.
They actually still have a chance to get that 1 seed.
Yeah, they do.
Because there's 5 games left in the season. They're 5 behind the Yankees.
Yep.
They just beat the Yankees yesterday, and there's 2 more games left in their series. If they sweep them, and then they'll have to bank on the Pirates sweeping the Yankees for the last 3. That'd be pretty awesome. Yeah. And then they end up tied, and they have to play a tiebreaker game. They'd go off runs. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I think the Orioles are going to have a big postseason run. I think they're a very young, exciting team. Gunnar Henderson is a stud over there.
I think they'll have 100 wins next year.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They only have 87.
Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman. Jackson Holliday's still super young. He's only 20 years old.
He's really good, though.
But he's still going to be really good.
Yeah.
Their whole team is super young, and their pitching staff is also pretty great.
I love their team.
Yeah. No, I'll hop on that O's bandwagon.
Yeah. Another surprising team that's in the AL wild card is the young Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, I mean they had a .6. I mean, obviously I don't like a lot of stats in baseball, but looking at it at the beginning of the season, they had like a 0.6% chance to make it to playoffs with their team, and now they're in the playoffs pretty much.
Yeah, so Detroit Tigers got, you think, one of the best, the best pitcher in the AL.
He's a rookie and Cy Young winner probably this year.
Yeah, so he's definitely going to pitch in that wild card series, and that'll be fun to see.
Yeah.
Another team out there is the Kansas City Royals. They are holding that 3rd wild card spot right now. They have
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah, Bobby Witt is a stud over there, the shortstop.
Yep.
He's one of the best average power defenders in the league.
He's an all-around player.
He's a 5-tool player.
Yeah. Star utility player. I mean, you don't really besides Shohei, he's a utility player for sure. But they're starting to become more and more now.
Yeah, definitely. Some teams that are close on the brink of making it to the wild card.
Like a game behind.
Yeah, the Minnesota Twins.
Yep.
Really close, only 2 behind. Seattle Mariners, who are in the AL West, are 2.5 behind. Then we got the Boston Red Sox 3.5 behind, and that's the 3 teams.
The Twins have kind of gone on a really bad struggle lately.
Yeah.
They've lost I thought they went on a little big losing streak. They lost 17 out of 25 or something like that.
And right now they've lost 3 in a row, and they're 3-7 in their last 10.
Yeah, they were up there. They were up top at the top of their division, and they dropped off super quick. So that's kind of sucks to see that, but you gotta last the 162 games.
Yeah, that's true. We'll move out in the NL. The Dodgers are leading the NL West easily, and they have 93 wins. Shohei, MVP, 50-50. Never seen it before.
I think he's 52-51 now.
Yeah, so never seen it before. He is the best hitter. Could be next year the best pitcher as well.
Yeah,
he's not even pitching this year.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had to, taking a break from pitching. Let me go up and hit a 50-50 year because I don't have to pitch this year. That's nuts.
We've never seen a player like Shohei. He's probably going to go down as number 1 best player in Major League Baseball history.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He started the 50-50. Damn. I don't know.
It's crazy.
And then I also will say, it's cool to not see any teams over 100 wins this year.
Yeah, not yet. And you said, there's only 5 games left.
There's only 5 games left.
No
Nobody's
team.
Yeah. That's baseball's becoming more and more of a competitive sport. It's spreading everywhere.
Love to see it. The Philadelphia Phillies are leading the NL East out there. They got Bryce Harper, Trey Turner. Love their team over there.
Yep.
They're my favorite to win the World Series going into the playoffs.
I'll put them up there. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Also in the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers are leading in the NL Central.
That's my dark horse right there.
Yeah.
I would like to see them if they get past the Phillies, I see them winning it all. Obviously they make it out of the wild card.
Yeah.
But that's my dark horse to win it.
And they picked up Rhys Hoskins from the Phillies. So he's made a big impact for them. They're a really young and good team. So I think the Brewers are scary out in the NL.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday we saw the Padres clinch the NL wild card spot.
Yeah, they Manny Machado clutched it up with a triple play to punch a ticket to playoffs. That's kind of you got to be romantic about baseball.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so the Padres are leading the wild card. Then we got the New York Mets, who've really gone on a second half run. They picked up Jose Iglesias. I don't know if you've seen, he makes a song and then all the team sings it in the whole arena. He performed it after they hit a walk off.
Oh,
Did you see
I
that?
did see that.
It's really lighted a spark under that team, and ever since they signed him from free agency, he turned that team around.
It's that chemistry that just, I mean, it boosts everybody's morale and everything. Everybody's on the same page, the same wavelength, and it's just like, they're just on a roll.
And now they're in the wild card, the second wild card spot.
Hopefully they don't pull any Mets stuff in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of their thing is they get to the wild card of the first round, and it's just like they fall apart and get swept.
Yeah, very true. Also, the third wild card spot is the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are a really good team.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people predicting them to make it to the World Series again.
They made it last year, and then they lost to the Rangers.
Yeah.
They got swept by the Rangers.
And I mean, I'm not looking at any team in the AL that could beat them if they make it back. They have the experience. They have. I mean, obviously any team can beat them, but like they have the experience to be there in the World Series. And kind of, I mean, that would be cool to see. I always like seeing an underdog come there and like just take over.
Yeah, same here. Also, we have the Atlanta Braves only half game back of that third wild card spot. I know you're pushing for them. They've been without Ronald Acuna all year, and they're still a half game back.
They're still up there.
Yeah, can't be too mad at that. They have a really, really solid team, though. You know, we love their team. Matt Olson, Sean Murphy, all those guys.
I think the Braves were just playing the Mets like the other night.
Yeah,
and,
huge games.
The Mets have Acuna's little brother on his team, or on their team, and there's like a little bit of just like friendly taunting going on between dugouts and everything. It's pretty cool.
I think they had a jersey swap or something like that.
Did do. Yeah.
Also, that's the only other team out in the NL that could make it. The Cubs are 6 back, so they are eliminated. So only the Braves and the Diamondbacks and the Mets are all fighting for that 2 through 3 spot.
But then there's like 4 teams in the West or the AL that are fighting for the wild card.
Yeah, so some interesting games coming down to the wire of this MLB season.
Yeah.
Let's make our predictions right now. Who do you predict is going to be in the World Series?
Let's see.
I'll go with mine. I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles in the AL, and then I'm going the Phillies in the NL. That's what I think it's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be the Guardians in the AL.
I believe in Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, I believe in Stephen Vogt.
Yeah.
The Guardians, and then honestly, I think the Padres might make it in the NL.
That would be
the
amazing.
Padres have a strong squad that's like kind of coming together right now, and they're finally, I mean, just clicking together because they've kind of just been on this up and down thing for the past couple of seasons. But now I feel like they might be able to come through. They have 91 wins right now, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, Guardians and Padres World Series.
I would like that. So, you're going to the A's game today. We talked about it earlier.
Yep.
Last 2 games in Oakland.
Rest in peace.
We've been through so much there. So what are you thinking about going into this game? You know, the A's walked off last night.
Yeah, they walked off last night.
We've seen fans stealing seats. We've seen some crazy videos of just everything going on.
I hope nobody at Coliseum's listening to me, but I'm not walking out of that stadium empty-handed. Hopefully that doesn't incriminate me at all, but I mean, they're tearing the stadium down anyways, so like, I mean, I'll help them.
Yeah.
Like, but nah, I mean, all respect to the team of Oakland, not the organization really, not the higher ups, but every player that's stuck through and has been there through. I mean, playing on this field where nobody really cares about it. We got skunks running the outfield and everything. It's a heartfelt like journey that a lot of these people have been through and stuff. So it sucks to see this like 1950s or 60 something.
Yeah, 1960. The A's, you know, they've been through so much in this Coliseum. I actually saw a picture the other day
over
of
50 years, almost 60 years, I think.
Yeah, I saw a picture of the World Series when they made 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was actually at all those, and the Coliseum just looked so beautiful, and like it was packed crowd. It had so many seats. It just looked magical, and it's just really sad that they're never going to play there again.
Yeah. Obviously, it's great that they're coming to Sacramento, but like I was super happy about it like the previous weeks, but then coming into now, I'm like, damn, like that's a whole history thing being ripped out. Like that's getting ripped out of there.
Yeah. Who's your favorite player you've watched in Oakland Coliseum?
Oh, man.
In the Coliseum.
Oh, man. On A's or just overall?
Either. Some of my favorite guys are Josh Donaldson's first one to come
Josh
to mind.
Donaldson, that's a great one.
We definitely saw him.
Cespedes.
Yeah, Cespedes was his first year on the A's was like so magical, and he really pushed them to be a playoff team.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was like their first wild card year in a while, right?
They won the AL West that year. That was in 2012.
Yeah, that's right.
Went down to the final game of the season where they played the Texas Rangers, who they're playing today. So they always play them towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I was at that game where the A's clinched the AL West on the final day of the year. That was a game where Josh Hamilton looked into the sun and dropped the ball.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And then the first inning, the A's, pretty sure they pitched rookie A.J. Griffin, and he gave up 4 runs in the first inning.
I think I remember when we went to... Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no. So he gave up 4 runs in the first inning, and, like, the whole energy was just like, damn. Like, it was so hot that day. I just remember being in Oakland, like, so nervous after the first inning. And then the A's just came right back in the bottom of the first and like scored 3 more. And then the next few innings they scored like 5 in one inning. And like, and then they won that game like 12-4. Like it was a blowout.
No, that's it's all the memories there are very. I saw a video yesterday of just like someone like panning around.
Yeah.
And I see like 3 different like couples, like just like homies or anything like. And they're giving each other hugs, like big, long embraces. It's just like, damn, like everybody's been affected by this.
Yeah, you got to feel for the fans, especially like the season ticket holders, like those fans out in the bleachers. They didn't miss a game no matter how good this team was.
Shout out right field.
Right field bleachers out there in Oakland are the most loyal fans I've ever seen. Yeah. They are banging those drums even when the A's are 25 games out of first
waving
place.
The flags,
yeah, waving
and everything.
The flags, like. The A's, John Fisher does not deserve fans like that, honestly. And I hope Sacramento
doesn't deserve an MLB team.
Yeah, I hope Sacramento comes with that energy and then it just works out here. I think it will.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully Vivek saves them.
Yeah.
And gets a little group together, build a little 30,000 stadium stadium over there in West Sac.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty tight.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Some other just favorite guys.
I was also going to say, I remember one Halloween when we were super young and we both went as A's players. And I think one of us had a Griffin jersey on.
That was probably that one right there, actually.
Is this AJ Griffin?
That's AJ Griffin.
It was definitely that one right there.
Yeah, so, we've been loyal from day one, never switched up on the A's.
No. It's going to be very emotional tonight. I can already feel it.
Yeah.
But it's a good, not really good emotional. No, I'm probably going to.
Just think about the happy memories, So who's some other your favorite guys that you watched in Oakland Coliseum?
I was going to say Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
I mean, obviously that's
definitely went to a lot of Angel games.
Yeah. Obviously he's also one of the greatest players of all time. It sucks because he's just been so injury prone lately.
Yeah.
But Mike Trout, one of my favorite. And then Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Samardzija was on the team.
I thought they were going to be so good. I thought, when they traded for him. And John Lester.
I was a big fan of Samardzija, the Shark, man. The Shark. He was pretty cool.
That's a good pull right there because he's actually a really underrated player.
I'm trying to think of some
Josh
more.
Reddick.
Josh Reddick was awesome.
One of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
Jed Lowry. We got to shine some light on Jed Lowry. He was an all-star.
Steven Piscotty. He was there last night. I saw him. I was like, God damn, Steven, man.
He was a great right fielder for them.
Coco
Crisp. Have so many Coco jerseys.
Yeah.
I just remember him actually catching that ball to close out the AL wild card, and then he was like sprinting in with his arms up, screaming like
Marcus Semien too. Love Marcus Semien.
Yeah,
one of the more recent.
True. Matt Chapman's talked a lot about his time in Oakland. Also, he said that if the organization wanted to have a winning team, we could have done it. All the players just wanted to win more than anything there, and they wanted to stay in Oakland. They wanted to do everything, and you can't control what the owner does.
And then our boy Country Breakfast, Billy Butler. Oh, my God. That
was when they started being bad, though. So I was a little like, Billy Butler's our best player. No, Like, I was like, really?
Sorry, I do like that statement from Chapman, though.
Yeah. It's all good. Matt Chapman was also one of my favorite guys.
Matt Chapman. That whole team right there. That was the 2019 team.
Yeah. That was the last time they were good.
That was amazing. I mean, now half of those people are on the Braves right now. Yeah. Ramon, Matt Olson, Sean Murphy.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's yeah. But no, it's going to be a good night for sure.
Yeah.
I heard with the Coliseum night tomorrow, because they're giving out little replicas.
Oh, really?
For the first 20,000 fans of the Coliseum. And I think they're waiting until after the game to give it to him because they think if they give it to him before the game, everybody's just going to chuck them all down on the field and just like kind of just make stuff happen.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like surprised if that did happen.
I'm interested to see what the stadium looks like tomorrow.
I still think tomorrow there's going to be some stuff
or
thrown
today.
on the field.
Sorry, today.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's going to be a fun night, I think.
Yeah, and tomorrow's already been sold out for a long time.
Tomorrow's sold
the
out.
last game in Oakland. So those fans are going to come in there with a message.
I think there were over 30,000 people there last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and then there's probably going to be more tonight.
That shows you that it's really not like the fan base's fault about this Oakland thing.
Nah.
Like, them not putting fans in the seats like those years, like it is not because of the fans not wanting to go and support this team.
It's the stadium that they had. It's the team that they traded away. They fell in love with, and then they trade them away.
Yeah,
when
the team's good, the fans are out there every game, being the best fans in the MLB.
But then when you trade them all away after being in the wild card or AL series, like to try and win the West, it's just like, no, we're gonna change this team up. We don't want to pay him money. Let's just and then John Fisher, you're one of the richest MLB owners in the league, and you don't put any money in your team.
Makes no sense.
You don't do anything.
He doesn't care if they win or if they lose. So it just hurts to, see that happen. But hopefully down the line we can see the A's get back on top, especially here in Sacramento.
Hopefully without John Fisher.
Yeah, true. We've talked a lot about their team next year going in. Lawrence Butler's a staple there. Probably my favorite guy on that team.
Brent Rooker,
of course. Zach Geloff had 20 homers.
Sucks because, I could see them easily being traded away next year.
No, please don't say that. I don't
I don't want to say it, but
I know.
Everybody's thinking it.
You can't. You never can be comfortable as an A's fan. No. It's always going to be something.
They rip your heart out every year, man.
Yeah, but, just imagining, I really hope the A's do something in the offseason to get get someone else. They also have a really good young pitching staff already.
Yeah, pitching staff. We traded for a few people last year. We got when we got rid of I already forgot their names because they're gone.
They got rid of everyone.
Yeah.
So next year I think they're gonna have a good pitching staff, but we've talked about it. It's gonna be tough to pitch in Oakland.
Yeah.
In Sacramento. It's going to be tough to pitch.
Home runs. It's going to be
ball's going to be flying. The wind's going to help it carry that Delta breeze, and it's just a small field compared to a lot of other MLB stadiums.
I will say Yankees Field is smaller than River Cats Field.
In right field, yeah.
And we see two places. There's two spots where the Yankees Field is smaller than River Cats.
We see a lot of home runs in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I think that's good, though. I think it makes for more exciting baseball.
Definitely.
Yeah. Also, I've heard about the turf, that there could be an air-conditioned turf coming up from the bottom of the turf.
And if they're not going to do grass, then they got to help the players somehow.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even know if the MLB PA hasn't even agreed with any of these terms.
I don't know if they've agreed. I don't think they've agreed to a lot yet.
Yeah.
Still question marks on if the A's can play playoff games in Sacramento for some reason.
That's kind of understandable because they want to make their money. They want to make their ticket prices.
That's true. The rumored is that they would play in the Giants stadium,
but
if the Giants didn't make the playoffs.
And then you also have to hope if the A's make the playoffs is the thing.
Well, they're going to make it. Come on. I believe. Next year is going to be one of those years for sure.
I want to believe.
Yeah, I think, if we can do it in MLB The Show, we can do it in real life, Yeah. All right. Well, this has been week 13 of Beam City Sports here on 96.5 FM. If you're listening on YouTube, please go hit that subscribe, leave a comment. This is Tyler Texeira, Luke Mitchell, and we're signing off.
Yeah. Check back next week for the East Coast standings for part 2 of this whole ranking. Really appreciate you, Sacramento. Hope everybody has a good, cool week and enjoys their time. Cheers.